fire of the forge, and the art of metallurgy. He was a divine artificer, maker of both practical and magical objects for men and gods. The legends say that he was born lame, and was therefore cast away in anger by his mother Hera. Another and more believable version has it that it was Zeus who banished Hephaestus because of the doubt regarding his parentage, but Hephaestus used his magically creative powers to force Zeus to give him a seat among the great gods. The legends also relate that Hephaestus once made an invisible net that would close over his wife's bed if it were worn by an intruding lover. He may have needed such protection, for his wife and consort was Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty. It was only natural that many tales of love affairs would build up around her. In many of these the seducer was Ares, brother of Hephaestus. One of the offspring of that illicit love affair was Eros, the god of love. Aphrodite was included in the Olympian Circle of 12, and the circumstances of her inclusion shed light on our subject. She was neither a sister of Zeus nor his daughter, yet she could not be ignored. She had come from the Asian shores of the Mediterranean facing Greece according to the Greek poet Hesiod. She arrived by way of Cyprus, and, claiming great antiquity, she ascribed her origin to the genitals of Uranus. She was thus genealogically one generation ahead of Zeus, being so to say a sister of his father, and the embodiment of the castrated forefather of the gods. Aphrodite, then, had to be included among the Olympian gods. But their total number, 12, apparently could not be exceeded. The solution was ingenious at one by dropping one. Since Hades was given domain over the lower world, and did not remain among the great gods on Mount Olympus, a vacancy was created, admirably handy for seating Aphrodite in the exclusive circle of 12. It also appears that the number 12 was a requirement that worked both ways. There could be no more than 12 Olympians, but no fewer than 12 either. This becomes evident through the circumstances that led to the inclusion of Dionysus in the Olympian circle. He was a son of Zeus, born when Zeus impregnated his own daughter, Semele. Dionysus, who had to be hidden from Hera's wrath, was sent to far-off lands reaching even India, introducing vine-growing and wine-making wherever he went. In the meantime, a vacancy became available on Olympus. Hestia, the oldest sister of Zeus, weaker and older, was dropped entirely from the circle of 12. Dionysus then returned to Greece and was allowed to fill the vacancy. Once again, there were 12 Olympians. Though Greek mythology was not clear regarding the origins of mankind, the legends and traditions claimed descent from the gods for heroes and kings. These semi-gods formed the link between the human destiny, daily toil, dependence on the elements, plagues, illness, death, and the golden past, when only the gods roamed earth. And although so many of the gods were born on earth, the select circle of 12 Olympians represented the celestial aspect of the gods. The original Olympus was described by the Odyssey as lying in the pure upper air. The original 12 great gods were gods of heaven, who had come down to the earth, and they represented the 12 celestial bodies in the vault of heaven. The Latin names of the great gods, given them when the Romans adopted the Greek pantheon, clarify their astral associations. Gaia was Earth, Hermes, Mercury, Aphrodite, Venus, Ares, Mars, Cronus, Saturn, and Zeus, Jupiter. Continuing the Greek tradition, the Romans envisaged Jupiter as a thundering god, whose weapon was the lightning bolt. Like the Greeks, the Romans associated him with the bull. There is now general agreement that the foundations of the distinct Greek civilization were laid on the island of Crete, where the Minoan culture flourished from circa 2700 BC to 1400 BC. In Minoan myth and legend, the tale of the Minotaur is prominent. This half-man, half-bull was the offspring of Pasiphae, the wife of King Minos, and a bull. Archaeological finds have confirmed the extensive Minoan worship of the bull, and some cylinder seals depict the bull as a divine being accompanied by a cross symbol, which stood for some unidentified star or planet. It has therefore been surmised that the bull worshipped by the Minoans was not a common earthly creature, but the celestial bull, the constellation Taurus, in commemoration of some events that had occurred when the sun's spring equinox appeared in that constellation. Circa 4000 BC by Greek tradition, Zeus arrived on the Greek mainland via Crete, whence he had fled by swimming the Mediterranean, after abducting Europe, the beautiful daughter of the king of the Phoenician city of Tyre. Indeed, when the earliest Minoan script was finally deciphered by Cyrus H. Gordon, it was shown to be a Semitic dialect from the shores of the eastern Mediterranean. Gods came directly to Greece from the heavens. Zeus arrived from across the Mediterranean, via Crete. Aphrodite was said to have come by sea, from the Near East, via Cyprus. Poseidon Neptune to the Romans brought the horse with him from Asia Minor. Athena brought the olive fertile and self-sown to Greece from the lands of the Bible. There is no doubt that the Greek traditions and religion arrived on the Greek mainland from the Near East via Asia Minor and the Mediterranean islands. It is there that their pantheon had its roots. It is there that we should look for the origins of the Greek gods and their astral relationship with the number 12. Hinduism, the ancient religion of India, considers the Vedas compositions of hymns, sacrificial formulas, and other sayings pertaining to the gods as sacred scriptures, not of human origin. The gods themselves composed them, the Hindu traditions say, in the age that preceded the present one. But, as time went on, more and more of the original 100,000 verses passed from generation to generation orally, were lost and confused. In the end, a sage wrote down the remaining verses, dividing them into 4 books, and trusting 4 of his principal disciples to preserve 1 Veda each. When, in the 19th century, scholars began to decipher and understand forgotten languages, and trace the connections between them, they realized that the Vedas were written in a very ancient Indo-European language, the predecessor of the Indian root tongue Sanskrit, of Greek, Latin, and other European languages. When they were finally able to read and analyze the Vedas, they were surprised to see the uncanny similarity between the Vedic tales of the gods and the Greek ones. The gods, the Vedas told, were all members of one large, but not necessarily peaceful, family. Amid the tales of ascents to the heavens and descents to earth, aerial battles, wondrous weapons, friendships, and rivalries, marriages, and infidelities, there appears to have existed a basic concern for genealogical record keeping, who fathered whom, and who was the firstborn of whom. The gods on earth originated in the heavens, and the principal deities, even on earth, continue to represent celestial bodies. In primeval times, the richest primeval flowing ones float celestially, possessed of irresistible powers. Of them, 7 were the great progenitors. The gods Ra, Demon, and Ketu disconnected were once a single celestial body that sought to join the gods without permission, but the god of storms hurled his flaming weapon at him, cutting him into 2 parts. Ra, the dragon's head, which unceasingly traverses the heavens in search of vengeance, and Ketu, the dragon's tail. Maharishi, the progenitor of the solar dynasty, gave birth to Kashyapa, who is the throne. The Vedas describe him as having been quite prolific, but the dynastic succession was continued only through his 10 children by Prithivi, heavenly mother. As dynastic head, Kashyapa was also chief of the Devas, shining ones, and bore the title Dyaspidar, shining father. Together with his consort and 10 children, the divine family made up the 12 Adityas, gods, who were each assigned a sign of the zodiac and a celestial body. Kashyapa's celestial body was the shining star. Prithivi represented Earth. Then there were the gods whose celestial counterparts included the Sun, the Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. In time, the leadership of the pantheon of 12 passed over to Na, the god of the heavenly expanse. He was omnipresent and all-seeing. One of the hymns to him reads almost like a biblical psalm. It is he who makes the sun shine in the heavens, and the winds that blow are his breath. He has hollowed out the channels of the rivers. They flow at his command. He has made the depths of the sea. His reign also came sooner or later to an end. Indra, the god who slew the celestial dragon, claimed the throne by slaying his father. He was the new lord of the skies and god of storms. Lightning and thunder were his weapons, and his epithet was Lord of Hosts. He had, however, to share dominion with his two brothers. One was Vivashivat, who was the progenitor of Manu, the first man. The other was Agni-Igniter, who brought fire down to earth from the heavens so that mankind